Hi, so it's been a while. I haven't made a video since like October or whatever of last year, so almost a year. Cool, great. And this one is going to be different than what I usually do. A lot of times I talk about books or I talk about what's going on in my life and do vlogs and stuff like that. This is not going to be a vlog. This is going to be pretty much a breakdown of the newest, or I say newest, it's the only teaser trailer for season 2 of Our Flag Means Death. I'm sure everybody else in the fandom is doing something like this, but yeah, thought I'd do it anyway because this is literally the thing that I've been obsessed with since whenever I finished season 1. Technically, before I was even finished with season 1, I was probably pretty obsessed with it, but it just got worse. Yeah, so this is the first time that I have been obsessed with a TV show since I was in high school. That TV show being Big Wolf on Campus. A show about a werewolf in high school. So yeah, this is the first time since then that I have been so just really obsessed with it. It's gotta stop, but it's obviously not gonna stop soon because season 2 will be coming out in October. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to go over what we know, basically, of season 2 of Our Flag Means Death. We're going to get into a little deep dive of some parts of the trailer and the Vanity Fair article, of course. I'm not going to go into like everything, but I'll mention some stuff from the Vanity Fair article. You'll get to see some of the pictures from it. If you're in the fandom, you've probably already seen all this anyway. You've probably already done your own speculations, but yeah. So the first things first, the Vanity Fair article, it came out last week. We got some first look photos from that. So the first one we're going to look at is this one right here. This is some of our crew all together in the rain. In the Vanity Fair article, they said that there are several costume changes for the characters, the main characters and everything. So we can see in this that there are some costume changes already. First one to note is probably Black Pete. So what he normally wears is he usually has his little rainbow striped pants. He has a off-white shirt. I suppose it's supposed to be white, but it's more of a beige-ish, with his little belt buckle, with his little belt, his horseshoe belt buckle, and his jean jacket looking thing, and of course he has his little armband. And as you can see in this picture, he does not have those pants. He's got different pants. They look they're like the same length, I believe, but these just look like gray pants. A greenish shirt, olive green shirt. It looks like a different vest jacket kind of thing. Vest slash sleeveless jacket. I don't know exactly what you'd call that. It looks a little bit different. But it's kind of hard to tell because, you know, there's a lot of rain. But he does still have his armband, so that's nice to see. Editing Krista here, of course. I am working on this. I'm also wondering why I sat here and talked for an hour and a half. But, you know, that's just how I do. Just wanted to point out that I went back and I looked at a couple of things because I was like, why is Black Pete wearing different clothes? It's because that's all he has. They have probably had to steal that from someone because when they were marooned on the island, he was not dressed in his normal clothing. He was dressed up and he had like white makeup on and everything because he was going to be doing some kind of performance for the talent show. And yeah, so he doesn't have his usual clothes. So I guess rip rainbow pants and stuff because I love those rainbow pants, man, but I guess we'll never see them again. They're probably long gone by now. Unless someone is like saving them somewhere. Who knows? So yeah, there's that. Back to the thing. Roach is wearing the same thing that he wore in the first season. He's got his striped shirt. He's got his regular pants there. You didn't see this very often, his little scarf belt kind of thing, but he did have that in the first season, so that's nothing new. Then we're going to move over here to Steed. Steed is wearing something different, of course. It looks more like what he wore at the end of the first season when he's, you know, when he gets out on the dinghy and he is heading back out to the Revenge, back out to his life of piracy. Looking very piratical here, I guess. And a new little neckerchief. It looks vaguely like Lucius's. It looks like it's a little redder than the one that Lucius wears. So I don't know if it's the same one. If it is, then how did he get it? Because Lucius was tossed off the ship at the end of the first season. Everybody's hoping he's still alive, of course. I'm pretty sure he is. If he's not, then I'm going to be very, very sad because Lucius, anytime I mention a character, I'm going to say, because this person is my favorite character, and then I'm going to move on and talk about another character and go, and this person is my favorite character, because I love all of them so much. But Lucius probably is my favorite of all of them. I love Lucius a lot. It was very sad to see him pushed off the ship at the end of the first season. Crossing my fingers he's still alive. Editing Krista back again to do one little quick thing. We were looking at the neckerchief, and I kept saying, maybe it's Lucius's, but Buttons does have one that he is wearing at the end of the 10th episode of season 1, so maybe that's where this came from. I don't know, it could have just come from anywhere, but I was really hoping that maybe it would have belonged to Lucius. It would have been the one that he was wearing. Probably not. So back to Steed. He's got some different boots. He's not wearing his gentleman pirate outfit, of course. So this is a different look for him, and he even has a little knife in his belt, which is nice to see because he's a pirate. He should probably be doing some piratey things. Over here we have Wee John, of course. Wee John looks like he's wearing the same thing that he wore in the first season. Pretty much looks the same. I'm not going to go too much into it. Behind Steed, there is someone, and look at that, it's Oluwande. You can just barely see him poking his little head out right there. And you can tell it's him also because he's wearing his Crocs. I'm pretty sure they've said they're not Crocs, but they look so much like Crocs that, yeah, we're just gonna go with it. So he's there. Good. We get to see him again. And of course, over here, right behind Roach, it looks like someone is maybe peeing on the bricks over here. I don't know if that's what is happening, but that's what it looks like. And it looks like it might be Buttons. Looks like he's wearing the same clothes, the same shoes, and everything that Buttons wears. You can see in this shot that he's got no socks with his shoes, of course. I'm gonna say that is probably Buttons. So there we go. That is our first picture. Oh my god. It's gonna take this is gonna be an hour. So we know all of those characters are returning, of course. A couple of other pictures that we have. We have Steed with his message in a bottle. He's wearing the same thing that he is in the other picture, of course, except he doesn't look like he has his knife on his belt and doesn't have the neckerchief around his neck. Of course, we have this one of Steed. He's got his dirty shirt, his really big belt. I like that belt a lot. And it looks like he's basically wearing the same thing that he was in the other one. But I am really liking this hairstyle that he has in the new season. Very similar to the end of the first season, of course. It's not quite as curled, and it just looks very dashing. So, yeah, and it looks like he's in some kind of an antique shop, maybe. I don't know. There's like a chair hanging up. But also, it looks like it could be this shop with a new character for season 2, which is Anne Bonny, played by Minnie Driver, of course. And here she is. She's looking very good. Anne Bonny, of course, was an actual pirate. Sailed around with Calico Jack. Doubt we'll see him again, but who knows. And another pirate lady named Mary Read. So, yep, there's Anne Bonny for us. She does show up in the trailer too, which is pretty cool. But you can see there's the chair hanging up behind her. So that just kind of makes me think that it might be a similar place. This might be where they meet. We got a picture of another new character. Her name is Susan, apparently. Don't know much about her, but she looks pretty cool. Then, of course, we have this picture, which everyone is wondering what is happening in this picture. Because we have some characters that we have already talked about, that we already know are going to be in this season, of course. We've got Oluwande over here. We've got Roach, Steed, Black Pete, Wee John. They're all here. They're all dressed very differently than what they would normally wear. And they're looking in surprise at somebody or something. And speculation is that this is maybe where they find Lucius and he's alive. I really hope that is the case, because I just have to have Lucius back. I'm sorry. I just have to. So there we go. That is that picture. And Pete's looking pretty happy. That's why I'm thinking it might be Lucius, because he's really excited about this. And he would probably be the most excited out of everybody. Maybe this is the first time that they're seeing somebody from the Revenge that was left behind. That would be nice. And maybe they just haven't met up with the others yet. So hopefully this is our first little reunion. That would be nice. So then of course we have Blackbeard himself, Edward Teach. And in this one, of course, he's looking more like his old self. Probably pretty close to I would assume this is probably pretty close to the beginning of the season because he's back to his leather. He does have it looks like he's got a pearl necklace on there. He's got his little dangly earring that was at the very end of the first season, and got his hair pulled back and everything. Growing out his beard again. And yeah, not much to say about this, but he has taken the kohl off of his eyes, so he's not doing the whole mask situation anymore. Maybe this means that he is going back to his Blackbeard era instead of the Kraken. Then the next one we have, and the last one actually that we have on this, is another one of Blackbeard, of course. And we've got Spanish Jackie. Look at that. Leslie Jones is back. That's nice. This one is very interesting. Spanish Jackie. I don't know what this hair is, but it's very 80s. She looks like she's got some shoulder pad action going on here. Can't see her other hand, which is a shame because her other hand is her wooden hand, and I love that wooden hand. It looks so cool. But yep, there it is. There's Jackie, and now we have Ed again. And I'm calling him Ed in this because he's not in his Blackbeard outfit. Looking at something, looking very soft in this. The soft hair, the soft clothes and everything, looking very nice. And people have pointed out that this may be Button's jacket, because it's got this little section here with the star. In episode 3 of season 1, you can see a little bit better. This is a screenshot from it, so you can kind of compare and contrast. You can see there is that little star there on that section of the jacket that Buttons wears. And it is a very similar color. If it's not the same jacket, then it is a very similar one because it does have that star. So if that is the case, then they have most likely met up again at this point. This is post-reunion, if there is going to be a reunion, or at least a post-reunion with Buttons. I don't know. I'm really hoping that he's looking at Steed in this picture because he's looking very, very sweet in it. So those are the photos from the Vanity Fair article. Of course, the first look, that was from last week. And there was a nice little article that goes with it. Just be careful if you're going to read it online. If you want to read it more than once, tough luck, because you get to read one article online there, and that's all you get. So yeah, there's a whole article that goes with it. It talks about about the costumes a lot. It talks about there's a lot in it about Izzy. There were no pictures of Izzy in the article at all. He does show up a lot in the trailer though, so he is definitely going to be there. There were several people that were not in the pictures, of course. We don't have Lucius, but I assume if Lucius is back, they're not going to reveal that. That's going to be something that shows up, during the season. And so if they do like a second trailer, is probably not going to be in that either. Other people absent from the article. We didn't see Jim. Jim's not there. Didn't see Frenchie. Didn't see Ivan or Fang, but I'm pretty sure that Ivan is not going to be back in season 2. I think that the actor, I think that he left, so probably no Ivan in season 2 anyway. But we didn't see any of them. Didn't see the Swede at all. So those are the people that were missing, of course, in the article, but we do get most of them in the trailer. There's a big section of it where they interviewed Con O'Neill talking about Izzy's character. Very interesting. There's a lot of stuff about like heartbreak, Blackbeard is heartbroken and everything, which you can easily tell that, that was going to happen considering the way the first season ended, and he was heartbroken at the end of that anyway. So that's kind of what we found out from that article. And of course today the season 2 teaser trailer dropped right around noon. At the time that I'm doing this, it is 4 o'clock. So let's look at the trailer. I'm not going to do like a review kind of thing on it. I will talk about it and we'll look at some screenshots from it. Yeah, so we start off the sneak peek. Beautiful Ones by Prince is playing, which is nice. We start off with Steed. He has his message in a bottle. He throws it out into the ocean. I'm assuming he is sending a message in a bottle to Ed, a nice little love letter. It says, "Dear Ed, I love everything about you." We see some flashbacks from the first season of them together. Our first good look at Ed this season, he is on a beach somewhere. Looks like he's taking down a British officer. That's interesting, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Going forward, we see him. He has it looks like a little doll of Steed, and he's talking to it. We get our first look at Izzy. He's dodging a knife that is being thrown by Blackbeard into what looks to be one of the empty bookshelves in the library on the Revenge. You get a little close-up of that area of the wall, and there are lots of tally marks on there, so I'm assuming this is, maybe he's counting down how many days he's been without Steed. I don't know if that's what's happening, but that would be my first thought. I tried to count. It was pretty close to 90, I believe. So maybe if this is 3 months in the future. There was talk that there would be a time jump, so maybe this is, like I said, 3 months later. We get Oluwande and Steed talking to each other. Oluwande, of course, says, "Do you think Blackbeard's going to murder you?" Then we scoot over. Blackbeard looks like he's murdering someone. Looks like he's shooting someone. If we look at it very closely, I'm not sure who it's supposed to be. I think it's maybe a new character. And yes, he does shoot this guy. Pay attention to the tent and everything and what Ed is wearing, because I believe this set shows up later in the trailer. We see here there is a wanted poster for Blackbeard. Of course, it says, "Wanted, Blackbeard, villainous pirate and murderer thrice over. $400 reward for the criminal responsible for theft, brigandry, larceny, arson, and tax evasion." That's where they get you, is the tax evasion. He's got a lot of hair going on in this this drawing of Blackbeard, and a very interesting nose that doesn't look anything like Blackbeard. Maybe this is a Rapunzel situation, a Tangled situation with Flynn, and they never get the nose right. Of course, Steed says, "I don't care what any of you say, he's actually a good guy." We'll see. Someone else, of course, calls Ed a madman. We see Ed, he's playing with his little dolls, which we will get into a little bit more in just a minute. One of them looks like Steed, of course, is dressed as a gentleman. Looks very similar to one of the outfits that he wears in the first season. And then, of course, we have a doll that is in a dress, and that looks like Blackbeard. The hair is dark and everything. Looks like she even has a little beard, a little bearded lady. He's playing with his little dolls, and I want him to make them kiss. We scoot forward to the next scene. You can see the back of the dolls before they have been changed. They are, of course, toppers on a wedding cake. So we're about to see a wedding. Who's getting married? Don't know. Some random people. We have a split screen shot here. Steed, of course, is on one side. He's in a dinghy. It looks like Buttons is back there behind him, so they're together. I'm assuming this, considering what they're wearing, this looks very similar to what they were wearing when they were marooned on the island and Steed came back. Of course, over here on the other side we have Blackbeard. He does have his eyes darkened, and his maybe darkened beard. It's kind of hard to tell because he is growing his beard back. You can see that it's grown in a little bit. But he is shooting at someone on a ship. But as you can see, he's got like this thing with 3 other guns there. He's holding a gun and he's got 3 more, which is kind of funny because he was like, "No, I have 1 gun and 1 knife, just like everybody else." But obviously, now that he has been abandoned by Steed, he has changed it up. He's really going for the killer look, I guess. So we have our wedding ship scene, of course. These 2 people are getting married, and apparently they are going to be raided by Blackbeard and his crew. This is where we get to see our first glimpse of some of the characters that were not in the Vanity Fair article, that maybe they were mentioned, but there were no pictures of them. So we get to see what some of these people look like now. First off, we have Fang, who has a very interesting new look. He's got the coal on his eyes and everything, very similar to Blackbeard. Apparently this is just going to be their aesthetic for a little bit, I guess. He's got some new stuff around his wrist. I don't think he had that before. He's got some new tattoos, it looks like, because he's got something on his stomach. He's got spikes on his shoulders, which is very strange, and he's got a lot of... I can't tell exactly what is going on with his jewelry, but he's looking pretty scary there, and screaming, and I'm like, what happened to my baby boy Fang? Fang is a sweetheart. Why does he look like this? It's so sad. He does, of course, still have his little, his studded belt headband, which always makes me laugh. But yeah, so he's back and he is looking pretty fierce. Then we get our first look at Frenchie. This was the point the first time that I was watching it where I had to pause it because I was like, I have to look at Frenchie because we haven't seen Frenchie in anything yet, and this is the first look, so very cool. He's got some different clothes, of course, too. He's looking real welcome to the Black Parade here with his with whatever jacket he's wearing. It's got some fraying around the end of the sleeves. And, of course, he's got blood all over his face and his neck, and blood all on his hands, and he's looking very Wolverine-like here, because he's got some stuff poking out between his fingers, and someone pointed out on Twitter that he looks like a cat that has knives in its feet, which to him is the scariest thing. So if he's trying to be scary, then, you know, for Frenchie, this is very scary. And of course, he's got the coal around his eyes also, like the others in Blackbeard's crew. We see Blackbeard, of course, standing by the wedding cake, and then there are some new crew members that we haven't seen before. They also have the whole raccoon look going on. Yeah, I don't know if they'll be sticking around long enough to get to know these characters or not. And then we get our first glance at Jim. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see Jim again. So we have short-haired Jim now. I don't know what this is. It looks kind of like net. Like there's net like on their arms. I'm not really sure. Looking really cool though. Looks like a tank top or something under that, and then some kind of rope or something. Not really sure. Jim does have an earring now, which looks like a little dangly kind of thing, and I'm loving that hair. And also no coal around the eyes, but Jim now has a coal beard, kind of like the one that Ed gave himself at the end of the first season. And of course, Jim is throwing knives as they do. Jim being very scary, of course. We've got Ed stealing the toppers for the wedding cake, which of course is what we saw earlier with one of them looking like Steed and the other one looking like Blackbeard. And then we get our first glimpse of Minnie Driver as Anne Bonny. Looks like she's straddling Steed. I don't know why. Don't know what she's going to be doing in the season, but we will find out. Then this is one of the most interesting scenes to me. This, and there's another one, because at some point Steed and Izzy are going to be together, unless this is just really weirdly edited, but I don't think it is. They're on a ship somewhere, obviously. They're on a ship. There's somebody dead in the background. Looks like there are lots of religious things also back there. That could be some kind of religious figure or something. I don't know. But Steed is here fighting. He has a nice new red coat, which looks very dapper, and fighting this guy. And as you can see in this, the guy is fighting with Steed, and you can see Izzy in the background. It looks like he's reaching for his sword maybe to help Steed out, but you can tell, like, outside you can tell it's a ship because it's got like all the rigging and everything. It looks like a closet with some kind of religious clothing, like something that a priest would wear maybe. So that's why I was thinking that maybe that was a priest or something in the other section there, dead in the background. That's definitely Izzy in the background, and that's definitely Steed fighting this guy. And then we see he punches the guy. Izzy's just kind of like, oh, okay, you did it, good job. I guess I don't have to kill this person. Steed says, I did a punch, which is very cute. Then we get to see him twirl in his new little outfit, which that little hip twist there just gets me every time. We see Buttons, he does have long hair right there, so I'm assuming that means that was him in the background of that one picture. And yes, he is wearing the jacket that has the star on it, which you see in the other picture Ed is wearing later. Then this is the other very interesting scene to me, because not just because Izzy is shirtless, but yeah, this is Izzy, of course. Izzy, he's got his sword, he's getting ready to chop down these candles. And Steed is in this is Steed off to the side. He's sitting here watching it. So obviously at some point they're going to be together on the same ship. Is Izzy going to go off and find Steed for Ed and help reunite them? I would like to see that. Izzy takes out the candles. We briefly see Susan. Looks like she's getting ready to fight. Olawande's in the background. I think he's wearing some different clothes too. Or maybe it's just like a vest that's over his usual shirt. And now, of course, we see Steed running out to fight another British officer, it looks like. And he has a sword. He's got a gun. He's wearing a different shirt than what he's been wearing in all the other parts. I love these boots, by the way. They look really cute. Is there going to be a big battle on the beach with British Army? And if so, is this a mirror scene of what we saw earlier in the trailer, where it was Blackbeard and he was taking down somebody on the beach? Are they meeting up here? Is this where they're going to be reuniting? Because Steed looks like he knows what he's doing in this. He's actually firing a gun at someone. He looks like he's been working on his weapon skills. Maybe this is where they meet up. That'd be pretty cool. And then we have Spanish Jackie. And Spanish Jackie is in bed. There's someone behind her. In bed behind her. I think that's the Swede. I think the Swede is in bed with Jackie. Is the Swede the newest of her husbands? I don't know. It looks very similar to the Swede's pants. in the first season, of course. It looks like they have a headband on. They have blonde hair. You can't see them very well, of course, because it's in the background. It's kind of blurry. So I think maybe Jackie and the Swede, maybe there's gonna be something between them. I know it sounds weird, but that's what I'm seeing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going blind. We've got Roach. Looks like he's had a costume change at this point. He is setting off a cannon. He's got a new belt. Looks like a new shirt and new pants. Looks like a whole new outfit, and he's got flowers on his outfit or on something. Maybe it's a part of a necklace. I don't really know. Looks a bit like a hibiscus, but it's kind of hard to tell. We've got a shot of someone with a rock tied around a rope. It looks like that is dragging them into the water. Don't know who that is. I really hope somebody doesn't drown, but maybe there's a reason that they have to get further down quickly. Maybe they're trying to rescue somebody. It looks like somebody with long hair though, so I'm wondering if maybe this is Blackbeard. It's kind of hard to tell, but it could be. And then it looks like there's a storm on the Revenge. Maybe somebody is about to get swept overboard. Maybe somebody does get swept overboard and Blackbeard jumps in to try to save them. Don't know. But that is Jim, of course. Jim looks like they're holding out their hand trying to grab somebody. Kind of hard to tell. And then we have, I'm assuming it is more of this storm, we have Frenchie in the storm. He's holding on to the capstan. Looks like he's trying to not get thrown overboard. And then we have possibly the strangest piece of this. I don't know what's going on in this. I have no idea what is going on in this. This person in the middle, at first I thought it was probably Steed when I just watched it the first time, but that doesn't look like Steed. I don't know who this is. This must be a new character, I'm assuming. They're holding a violin bow. We have a few characters that are recognizable. There's Olawande. He is in the background over here. It looks like somebody is right next to his head. I don't know what's happening. Roach is over here. Then we have Wee John, who is dressed in drag. I'm really hoping that he is dressed as a mermaid. In the Vanity Fair article, it talks a lot about Wee John sewing or knitting or something. It talks about a lot about costumes, of course, and one of the costumes it mentions is a mermaid tail. So it would be really fun if, even if it's not him dressed as a mermaid, if he dresses someone up as a mermaid. There's some other characters that I'm not sure who they are. They must be new people. We have Ed holding a barrel. He looks like he's about to smack somebody on the head with it, somebody who is down underneath him. If you look in the corner over there, I believe this is part of that tent from the set that we saw earlier where he was shooting someone. So I think he's probably shot this guy. Don't know who it is. And now he is about to beat him with a rum barrel or whatever this is. It cuts to Steed. It looks like he's on the ground. He's upside down. I don't know what's happening. He's screaming. I think they put these together to make it look like Ed was attacking him, but I don't think that's what's happening. I think these are from two different things, especially considering the lighting from both scenes, they don't match. So I think this is just two little things that were put together to make it look like it was something else. I don't know what is happening with Steed though. I have no clue what is happening. I don't know where he is. But he's screaming. That's all I know. And then of course you have my god, this is a terrifying face on Taika. But yeah, he's about to smash somebody with this barrel. So that's it. That's where it ends. We get Our Flag Means Death, October 5th, Max Original, all of that stuff. And that's the trailer. So who did we not see? I'm gonna go back. Okay, so we did not see Lucius, of course, which I was not expecting to see Lucius because I'm pretty sure that they're not going to reveal him, whether he's alive or dead. I don't think we saw Black Pete. Didn't really see the Swede, unless that was him with Jackie, which I think it was. I could be wrong. And of course we didn't see Ivan, but like I said, the actor who plays Ivan was not going to be returning for season 2. So there we go. There's a lot in there. There's a lot to speculate about. I'm actually really excited to get on AO3 and see what kind of fanfics people are coming up with that maybe like just based on this. I think it could be really fun to see what's out there now. If you happen to be one of these people who writes fanfiction on AO3 for Our Flag Means Death, I'm Baker Bell on there, so if you've written anything on there, especially if it's a long story, I've probably given you kudos. It was only a minute long, but there's a lot of it that they've packed into there. I think a lot of this that they've shown is going to be from the beginning of the season, probably the first few episodes, which is why there's a lot of stuff with Ed and his crew, Blackbeard and his crew, with the eye makeup and everything. But I don't think that's going to last very long. Obviously, Steed is out looking for Ed, trying to find him again so that they can get back together. Will it work out? Well, who knows? I'm just wondering where Izzy comes into this, because I saw Izzy and Steed together, but I didn't see Ed with them. There was only one part in there with Ed and Izzy together, and it looked like Ed was threatening him, and maybe he leaves. Maybe he leaves the revenge. I don't know, because he was not one of the people. It didn't look like he was one of the crew that was attacking during the wedding. And in the part where he's throwing the knife, Izzy moves away, it looks like he's still got the eye makeup and everything. It could be that he leaves the ship and he goes off looking for Steed and helps him train. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna have a big duel when they reunite. They've got to reunite though, right? Come on. I know that David Jenkins, the guy who created the series and everything, he has said that he wants it to be 3 seasons long. So this would be like the middle if he gets a 3rd season. I hope that they get a 3rd season, because I would love to see more of this. But if he only wants to do 3 seasons and he does get 3 seasons and doesn't want to do any more, that's fine with me also, because I don't want it to go the way of some other shows that just, go on way too long. So I think 3 seasons would be perfect. I would be great with that. I'm wondering if this is going to end on some kind of a cliffhanger like the 1st season did, or if they're just going to go ahead and give it an ending, but maybe leave some stuff open just in case they get a 3rd season. Anyway, I'm really excited about this season. I'm ready for October 5th to be here. They haven't said how they're going to be releasing it. Are they going to do it like they did the 1st season, where they released, I think they did 4 episodes one week, the next week they did 4 more, and then the week after that they did the last 2 or something like that. Are they going to do that again, or are they just going to release it all at once? I would love it if they released it all at once. But yeah, I guess we'll find out when October 5th gets here. And that's on a Thursday, so that's gonna be a problem, because I'm gonna be working that day and I'm not gonna be able to just immediately watch. I'm gonna have to stay offline and everything so that I don't get spoiled. But yeah, that's what we have so far. I'm really looking forward to watching the new season. I might have some other Our Flag Means Death stuff to put on this channel. I have things that I've wanted to do, but I was like, but that's not what I do on this channel. I do vlog stuff, and I talk about books occasionally. I watch a lot of reaction videos of people watching these things for the first time, and it's really fun and I enjoy it, but I don't think I'm going to do something like that. And if you don't want to watch anything about Our Flag Means Death, then you don't have to watch it. That's fine. I will not be sad about that. Just go, I'm going to skip this one. I don't really care. And I'm not going to be mad about it. It's not going to hurt my feelings. If you guys who are watching this, who watch the show and enjoy the show as much as I do, and are in the fandom, and you want someone to talk to about this, I don't really have anybody to talk to about this. That's why I'm making this video. I mean, I have a few people that I can talk to about it, but most people I don't. My boyfriend watched the 1st season with me. He has to listen to me talk about this. I think he's tired of it. But I'm just gonna keep going. And yeah, so if you want to talk about it in the comments, or if you want to find me on Twitter, I'm on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. If you want to find me on there, I probably got links somewhere on here. You can find me there. You can talk to me about it. If you have any theories, let me know, because I love seeing all these theories about what all of this stuff means. It's great. And if you want to talk to me about that, I will talk to you all day about it. And if you notice something in the trailer that I didn't see or that I didn't mention and you want to talk about it in the comments or on Twitter or wherever, do that too. That's fine. I'll be here. And that's it. I've got to stop. I've got to go. I've got to stop. I've got to stop this. It's gone on for way too long. I'm gonna have to edit this tonight. It's not gonna be fun. But I will see you guys next time, whenever that may be. Bye.